natural health show, and there's loads of vitamins after Vanessa.
Lazy layabouts and dole dodgers. Today we'll meet people who hate to work and see life as just one long holiday. Are they scroungers or have they struck a happy balance? Work shirkers. Today's Vanessa. Thank you. Hello and welcome to the show. What do you think of my new set? Fantastic, isn't it? Going to work, even on a gorgeous set like this, can be a pain. Sometimes we all get fed up with the daily grind, but some people just hate working. They prefer an idle life to the rat race. My first guest, only 25, and says he has no intention of ever getting a job. To find out more, let's welcome Tony. Have you ever worked?
No, only for about 2 weeks, that's it.
How was your 2-week job?
Hard.
What did you do?
Worked in a bakery. And
was it too hard to endure more than 2 weeks of work?
Yeah, I was working 11 hours a day, but when I refused to work another 11 hours to finish me up, so I decided then it's not worth working.
It's just not worth working?
No.
So what do you do all day, Tony?
What I want. I don't have to answer to nobody. I'm not told what to do, what to clean, and I don't have to do like a crap job.
How much money do you get from the state every week to have this life of Riley?
About £50 a week.
So on £50 a week, aren't your options pretty limited?
No, I go to the betting shop and win a few quid on the horses and spend that. Like if I was working, I couldn't do that. Like people who work, they just work, come home, go to sleep. They're like robots. I'm not. I'm having a proper life.
If I said the word sponger, which just seems to seep into my mind, the idea that people who are working are paying so that you can have a great life down the betting shop and lolling about, what would you say to me?
Well, I'm the only one in my family who's like this. Everyone else worked. They haven't had a day like off, so I'm only getting back what they've paid into it.
How do your family feel about being the ones who are paying into the money that you're taking out?
Well, at least you know who's getting it, don't they? Like, not some other clown over me.
Do you live with your mum and dad, or do
No.
you? So you manage to live in a house on your own on £50 a week?
Yeah.
Because you're getting other benefits as well?
Yeah, I'm getting £50 a week and what I win, and like I can go out and enjoy myself. And
so they're also paying your rent and everything else?
Yes, they are, and so they should.
And you think that's fair?
Yeah, I do, yeah. Of course it's fair.
Lady here.
You must be making more than £50 a week, mate, because that jumper you've got on is more than 50 quid unless it's a fake. So where's the rest of your money coming from?
Ask you a question. Have you got a girlfriend?
No.
When you get a girlfriend, do you expect her to work for you and clean and that after you?
That's where the woman's place is, in the kitchen, love.
Really?
Tony!
Your place, mate, is in the gutter, I'm afraid. You are nothing but a sponger.
You feel in the gutter?
I think he's got the right to choose how he wants to live, basically. I'm totally with him on that one. I think people that go to work are like robots, you know, and it's only when you don't that you realise that.
He's just a lazy git.
Do you work?
Do I work? Yeah.
What are you doing here then?
I've got a day off.
And so you're skiving, are you?
You're skiving?
I'm on the door, like, why am I skiving?
Yeah, so you're skiving, ain't you?
No, I'm not skiving.
Of course you are.
I just don't want to do a job.
Because you just don't want to go to work,
I've got
do
more
you?
intelligence than to do stupid
You've got more intelligence,
jobs. Yeah,
you look as though you have.
Lady over there again.
If everybody had your attitude, everywhere would close down. I mean, what about if you were ill and needed to go in hospital and everybody had the same attitude as you and they said, well, we're not going to work, we're not going to be in hospital to look after the sick. You'd come a cropper then, wouldn't you, if they weren't the one to look after you?
No, people aren't as clever as me and they do go to work.
I go to work.
Because their brain's dead.
Do you think that the reason Tony doesn't work is, as he said, because he's too clever to work?
No, not at all.
What do you think?
I think, well, I actually enjoy my job. and I go to work, and I'm not a robot.
Do you think it would be possible for you ever to find a job that you enjoyed doing?
Well, 20 years ago, you didn't have to go to college. I didn't like school. I left a year early. You got an apprenticeship. You'd done the job. You'd done like an electrician. These days, you've got to go to college or go on a YTS where they pay you £30 a week. At least when you were being an electrician, that's apprenticeship. You were getting half the wages.
That is not true.
Why were you around then?
I was in a warehouse beforehand, and I left that and went to the company as a cleaner, just cleaning photocopiers.
This 20 years ago. So you done a robot job, didn't you? Like cleaning.
Yes, but not anymore. Not anymore.
I actually got off my rear end and done something about it.
I haven't got the patience for that. You know what I mean?
Thank you very much. Lady over there.
Have you got any hobbies at all?
Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
Signing my child up.
Other than that? So when you're sitting at home all day, what exactly do you do?
Nothing.
You sleep
Nothing at all. You
Well,
sit on your ass all day.
I go out and have a good time.
What do you like doing? Because you might have a hobby that you could actually get some money
from. I like watching football all day.
So if you could get paid for playing football, say, because there's plenty of local teams that actually pay their people to play football on a weekend day, 60 quid a game. So why don't you try and get in with them if you like football, if you're good at it? It's 60 quid in your hand.
I said I like watching it.
Well, you must be good at something. Everyone's good at that. Everyone has a talent.
Yeah, I'm a layabout.
You're a pretty good one, mate, I'll tell you that.
I'm from Liverpool. There's no job opportunities like that. It's all right in the south. You've got everything.
So
Tony.
All right, my next guest says her life was made a misery because her ex-husband never worked. She says people like Tony are the lowest of the low. Let's welcome Keziban.
Do I look like I should be in the kitchen and not out there working?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah? You think so?
Why aren't you out there working?
What?
Why aren't you out there working?
I'm a student. I'm doing something in my life. What are you doing?
You're not working, are you?
I was all my life. I supported my husband, thank you.
You're a mug then, aren't you?
Yeah? Am I?
Yeah.
That's why I got rid of him, thank you.
Keziban, you've been there. You know what this is like. You got together with a guy. Did you realise that he was going to be work shy?
No. No.
Was he working when you met him?
No. It was unfortunate. I fell pregnant and I felt as if I had to get married to him. But it was the biggest regret of my life. I supported him 2.5 years and that was too much for me. That was too much.
What's it like being with a man who doesn't work?
Horrible. You can't do nothing. You can't go nowhere. You're working. I'm a cleaner and I'm proud to say I'm a cleaner. I love my job. But every single thing I was getting, I had to give him because he needed £5, £10 to go out and look for work every single day. I was giving him the money, £5 to £10 a day to go and look for work. And he was coming back saying I couldn't find work, which was a load of bull. Anyone who says they can't find work...
You must have done some work.
Oh yeah, he done 2-3 days here and there, kept getting the sack.
And got you pregnant?
It was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. That was unfortunate. And I kept my baby. I've got a 4-year-old kid and I'm proud of him. Have you got any kids?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
And you can sit there and say that you don't want to work. What kind of example are you setting for your kid?
I don't live with my kids.
You don't live? So? Makes no difference.
If I got a job, I'd have to pay
difference.
maintenance.
Sorry.
If I got a job for 150, they take half off me for maintenance. Then I've got to pay me rent.
Are you complaining?
Yeah.
Have you ever bought your son
I'm not
trainers?
complaining because I'm not going to work.
Have you ever bought your son anything?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
What, with the money you're getting? And supporting yourself? I don't think so, somehow, sorry.
I've got a lot of time to study the form on the horses. I win a few quid here and there, yeah.
You make me sick. You make me sick. How can you sit there saying that?
Let me ask you something, Tony. You have a son. How old is your son?
5.
Do you pay any maintenance for him at all?
No.
Who does?
Let the government keep him.
Oh, are you just saying this to be deliberately controversial, or do you really mean this?
Yeah, I think the government should keep him.
Why? Why should we?
Because they keep everyone else. Do you think if I got off the dole or I was paying maintenance, the taxes would go down? No, they wouldn't. They'd keep them as they are.
But maybe your son would have a father that he could respect more than he could respect you, do you think?
No, maybe times are changing and the country's getting better.
I just want to give you a bit of encouragement, actually, because I think that's what you need. Go out and get a job because work is more better, right? Because the clothes that you got on now, right, you'll be able to buy a lot more, right? At least the clothes I got on, I bought and paid for properly.
These clothes I got paid for properly. I've got loads of clothes like this.
Where'd you
I
get
can't
it
wear
from?
2 jumpers.
Where'd you get it from? With what money?
Well, money went on the
Do you know what? You saying that from a shop All right. You mentioning that, it's just made me think. You're saying that people shouldn't work, yeah? People shouldn't work. But it's people like us
Not saying people shouldn't work, I'm saying I don't want to work.
But if everyone had your attitude and not going out to work, who's going to work in the shops? Who are you going to give the money for?
Everybody hasn't got my attitude though, have they?
Well, you're lucky, aren't you? You're lucky no one's got your attitude, everyone.
No, I'm not lucky. That's just life, isn't it?
It ain't life. My parents, they've been in this country over 30 years.
So what?
And they've supported us, not the government. They've got 5 kids. They supported us, not the government. And I'm proud to say that. I'm proud. How about you? What is your kid going to be proud of? Is he going to be proud of you?
Are you proud being a cleaner?
Yes, I am.
Does your boss come up to you every day and go, I'm really satisfied with your work?
Yes.
He doesn't, he just looks at you and goes, I can replace you if you give me any years back.
No, I love my
You're 10 a penny, you are 10 a penny. Your place in society is 10 a penny.
Yeah.
And you're proud of that?
I'm proud to be a cleaner and that is it.
Well, you're a nothing, aren't you?
Yes, that's what you think.
Tony,
it's people like you that put me down.
Let me ask you, what kind of job would she have to do for you to say she could be proud of it?
That's what she would do. I'm not bothered what she does.
But why do you say she shouldn't be proud of being a cleaner? Why shouldn't she? She may be a brilliant cleaner.
She is proud of being a cleaner because she's a nutter, isn't she?
I'm at college doing travel and tourism.
Your standards are lower than mine.
I'm at college doing a travel and tourism course.
We'll get back there then.
Do you think, Keziban, that Tony should be forced to work, that his dole payment should be cut till he has to work?
Definitely. He don't deserve any money
I'd go
at all.
out and peeve if they cut me money.
Say that again.
I'd go out and peeve. I'd go out
and is that setting a good example for your child?
Where's this gentleman here? Stand up, sir.
So you're going about what you've got. You haven't got anything. You've stolen it from us. If you're man enough to make a choice not to work, then be a man and say, I don't want any money. Because it's our money, right? Not yours.
How's that look on your little kid?
He's not going to know.
Their father going out to thieve.
He's not going to know, is he?
Of course he's going to know.
Of course he's going to know. He's going to grow up, wants to know where his dad is and everything else. And what's people going to turn around and say? He's in prison.
Oh, how do you know I'll be in prison?
Let me ask you, sir, what do you do for a living?
I'm a labourer, and I'm trying to train to be a qualified scaffolder.
Have you worked all your life?
Yeah, I have.
Well, in Liverpool, there's not much work about. You're obviously from London.
You've got to travel. There's always work
about. Why do you want to move out of Liverpool?
Well, don't you ever want to
Okay, I want to ask you a couple of things. Tony, first thing is, I understand that there were 18 months when you were not getting just your dole money from the DSS.
Yeah.
What were you also getting?
Yeah, what happened was, I was living with my girlfriend. We split up. I just couldn't be bothered going to dole to tell them, you know, I expected them to stop the money because they were still paying me for I was getting like £80 a week and it's paying me for 18 months.
Hang on 1 second, I think they know. So basically, how much more did you get than you were entitled to?
£3,000.
Gosh. Have you paid it back?
Not a penny.
And you can sit there and say it proudly with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
You don't just make me sick, you make me physically sick.
Alright, we've got to take a break now, but please join me in a few minutes when we'll be meeting a lady who's come along to the show today to give her boyfriend the biggest ultimatum of his life. Don't go away.
On its own, or with a little imagination, Lee & Perrin's Worcestershire sauce is the instant marinade for delicious meals.
Know why I use Persil? The non-bio one. David. He's only 3, but believe me, reasons don't come any bigger. When he was born, I used it because his skin was soft and delicate. Unlike him. But now, I use it because it even copes with the world-class muck magnet that he is. He's put us through the mill for 3 years, but I still wouldn't put his things through anything else.
Persil, the original non-bio.
You've just had a bounty. bounty. Taste the exotic.
Strong, thick Domestos, whether Glacier Fresh or new Citrus Fresh, kills all known germs dead.
I'll send you a postcard.
Yes, please.
Enjoy the wedding.
I'm not getting married.
What?
I'm not getting married.
I need the bike. How much for the bike? Keep the change.
How was it?
Gracias.
The unique balance of rich and smooth makes Nescafe Gold Blend.
He took the coffee.
What?
I can't believe he took the coffee. You know, if we're to have any sort of relationship, we're going to have to learn to share.
Did you say relationship?
I know. It's a long shot.
A long shot?
Yeah.
When you spend 8 hours a day tending your flock, you haven't time to enjoy Paxo on a Sunday. So I cook new Paxo partners during the week. Now don't get me wrong, I enjoy my job. But I like to keep my work and my private life separate.
Are you a wife or girlfriend who's had to tell your lover you're carrying another man's child? Has he rejected you and the baby? Perhaps you fell pregnant after having an affair. Maybe you're a man who took on your lover's child. Did it work out or did you regret it? Or perhaps you're the child who didn't have a real dad and feel you had a terrible childhood. If you had someone else's child or you're a father who brought up another man's baby, call me, Vanessa, now on 0891 11 11 64. That's 0891 11 11 64. Welcome back. My next guest, Michelle, says her boyfriend's driving around the bend because he never gets off his backside. She's come on the show today to tell him something very special. To find out what life's like with Paul, let's welcome Michelle. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Vanessa.
Well, your Paul, he's not exactly a hard worker, is he?
Not at all. He lays in bed till about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. He'll get up, have a go on his car or whatever, and go out with his mates in the evening, and that's his day.
What does he think the summer's for?
Drinking beer in the garden. And he doesn't see why it should be any different.
Now, you're the mother of his child. How old's the baby?
She's 19 months now.
Does he play an active part in caring for her?
He didn't used to. It's recently, now she started walking and learning to talk, he does occupy her, but he doesn't look after her as such.
He's not into nappies and feeding and washing and ironing and none of that?
No, none of that. He thinks the housework's down to me.
Right, tell me about his work history, because it is quite colourful really, isn't it?
He's had about 4 or 5 jobs in the past 3 years. The shortest lasted for 2. I actually bought him a van because I had some money come through. I bought him a van. He promised me he'd really make a go of the Korean work. They were making him work long hours, and I said to him to stick it out till he could find another one. After 2 weeks, he had enough. He packed it in, and that was that.
Now, I understand that the reason he packed in the van driving was because he only got a tan on one arm. The arm that hung out the window. Is that true?
No, that was his driving job he had in the past 2 months. He had a driving job, basically doing couriering. He came home, he had one brown arm, one half of his face was brown. He went to the agency and said, could they find him driver's mate work? And they said, well, nothing's come up. And he just turned around and said, that's it.
That was it?
Yeah.
Now, there was a job where he had to stand outside a pizza place.
Yeah, he was doing that once a week on a Saturday night, and he was just there to make sure no one did a runner without paying. It got to beginning of September, started to turn a bit colder, and he just turned around, so I'm not doing it anymore, it's too cold.
Oh, Michelle, so what do you make of living with a bloke like that?
I get annoyed at him. We have a lot of arguments about it. He basically says to me, oh, well, why should I go out to work? He thinks I sit at home all day watching telly. He doesn't realise what goes into looking after him and Jessica.
Now, you spend a lot of time looking through the Help Wanted ads, saying to him, why don't you go for that one? And this sounds like a good job.
I've actually pointed out several jobs to him. If I say to him, why don't you go for this warehouse job? He says, well, what am I going to come home and talk about what I did say? I stuck 10 crates of baked beans. Like that. And I've pointed out security jobs for him. He thinks all security guards are just brain dead and he doesn't want to be like that.
What do you think his ideal job would be?
Bed testing, so long as they brought the beds to him. He'd have to have them for at least 12 hours as well.
Now, how annoyed are you really about all of this?
Very annoyed. I mean, I can smile about it at the moment, but when I get home, you know, and life starts to go back on, it just gets very, very annoying.
The way you got to look at it though is like, at least he's standing by you, you know, instead of, you know, just f***ing off, and he is actually taking an active role in the child, you know, and that, instead of like Tony there, I mean, I got to just ask you something, right? Well, man's worked all his life, yeah, and he's got practically everything he wants, yeah? He's got 3 kids that really love him and respect him. Wouldn't you like that feeling, man? Wouldn't you?
It doesn't bother me, but she doesn't know how good she's got it.
Oh, Tony. What exactly are you here for, Michelle? Because you're here for a reason, aren't you?
I'm here to tell him if he doesn't get a job and he doesn't hold it down, then he has to go.
All right, we've heard a lot about him. But is he as lazy as Michelle says he is? Let's find out and welcome Paul. Oh dear. This doesn't sound too good.
No.
Is she right? Is she telling the truth? Is she exaggerating?
Yeah, she's exaggerating a little bit. I do look for work. Like, I do go down the job centre every so often, but the jobs are just the same. They don't change them, so same jobs month after month.
What kind of job do you see yourself doing?
I like driving work and that. I'm just looking for it, but there's nothing about it at the moment.
This stuff about your arm getting brown and your other arm staying white, tell me that's not true.
Well, it is a little bit true, yeah.
Do you think Michelle works hard at home? Does she pull her weight? Has she got a right to tell you to get a job?
No, not at all. I do my fair share around the house. So.
What do you call your fair share though?
Well, I tidy up after myself and that, tidy up after
you. You don't? I get up in the morning and all the newspapers and magazines that you've looked through the night before are all still out.
No, not.
You can't tell me that's tidying up.
No, not. All you do is just push the TV remote all day.
Oh! Don't you feel responsible for your child?
Yeah.
To provide?
Yeah.
And you don't though? So
Yeah,
how can you say you do feel responsible?
I'm looking, but I'm not just going to get any old job.
Well, of course. Well, you expect to find something over £200 just like that. Just like that. You can't. You've got to be willing to work for nothing to get in. Yeah, but you have to be willing to work for nothing to get anywhere in life.
Well,
I've
done YTS schemes and that before. It's like a waste of money.
Waste of money?
Well, a waste of time and that, because at the end of the 2 years, bang, you're out the door. They find someone other mug to come along and take place.
Well, have you actually done it and they've chucked you out?
Yeah.
And they've chucked you out. And how about going into another job? How about going to college?
I've done that as well.
And you're telling me, well, you got any qualifications?
Oh, I've got a few, yeah.
You got a few. Well, why don't you get a job with them? And don't say you can't. Don't say you can't.
Well,
you must be able to get a job with the certificates you got.
Well, there isn't much out there.
Well, go out and do something else then.
Well,
keep trying.
Yeah.
You're obviously not trying hard enough, are you?
Look in the paper, says this gentleman here. Look in the paper. Lady here.
I believe it's men like yourself and yourself that say women's role is to stand at the kitchen sink, to put the washing on. It's the men's role to go out and get a job, so go for it.
Speak to this gentleman over here. Gentleman over here.
Comment for Tony. Tony, I've been unemployed on a couple of occasions and I realise the importance of having to work to survive. You at 25 need to realise that your behaviour is unacceptable to the majority of people who are taxpayers.
You've got to be, if you take, you've got to be willing to give as well. You can't just take. You can't. That isn't right. Not in this community, not in this country. It isn't right to keep taking.
Lady here.
You've got to be realistic.
Question to, is it Michelle?
Yeah.
Instead of giving him an ultimatum, why don't you just turn around and tell him, pack your bags, there's the door and I can find somebody better?
Yeah. Well, you know, I kicked my husband out, my ex-husband, sorry.
He kicked you out, probably.
No, I kicked him out because he never done nothing. He never looked after his son. He refused to. He kept saying he was looking for work. He never did. I got fed up.
Yeah, that's it,
and I
that's not
turned
me,
around
is it?
and said to him, out. He's walked out and I haven't regretted it since. And that's 2.5 years ago. And would you believe he still ain't got a job? He still ain't got a job, and that was 2.5 years ago.
It's his life, let him live it how he wants to.
Well, exactly. Now it is. Now it's his life. But when he was with me, I won't accept it. And you don't. You tell him to get out. You stick to it. You tell him to go.
Because I'm not going to tell him straight away, get out. Because we've got a daughter, and he loves his daughter very, very much.
This is your chance. Speak to Paul. Tell him what it is you want to say.
Paul, I am sick of the way things have been going on. I don't want you to go now because I do believe that our daughter needs her father. But I am saying if you don't get a job and hold it down, you have to go.
Well, you've got to start looking for work as well then.
I've just said I'm getting a job.
Yeah, all right then.
Paul, do you think she means it?
No, I don't really. She said it before, many, many times.
My ex-husband didn't think I'd do it, but I did. I did. He thought I wouldn't keep him out. I did. I just turned around and said, "We go," and he went.
Michelle, do you mean it? He doesn't believe you, Michelle.
I do this time. I know I've said it in the past. I think this is why I came on telly to say it, to show him that I did mean it this time.
You really mean it?
Yeah.
How long are you going to give him?
2 months.
2 months. How long has he got to hold the job down for?
If he can get a job within the next 2 months and show willingness to get up every morning, not lay in bed throwing sickies.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to do any old job though.
Then I'm not saying you have to go and get any old job, but I'm saying within the next 2 months you can find a reasonable and well-paid job that you would love to do.
Yeah, there's just not a lot about there, is there?
It's just going out there and trying to find it.
Paul, the question is, have you taken us seriously and will you try?
Yeah, I would give it a go. I am looking for work at the moment, just there's nothing out there. I don't see why I should
There's
just
something for everyone. There's something for everyone.
All right, that's it for today's show. But please join me again tomorrow for another Vanessa. Lots of love and bye for now. Goodbye.